There it is.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully that
well,
hits it. Hopefully
no,
that
I think it does, and I think what kind of really brings it home is that this aspect of Sanmitsu, this triple secret, these it's not a secret once it's let out, right? But these three wisdoms, as it were, this minding what you're thinking, minding what you're saying, minding what you're doing, that can be lamented over any aspect of our life. You were using it as looking at a relationship, right? So, here I am, and I just feel like I'm overwhelmed with love for this person, man. So in my thoughts are, "God, I just want to be with them. I'm envisioning a life with them." And, I say these words, I say things like, "I love you and I want to be with you." But maybe what I'm doing isn't necessarily reflecting that, so there's one of those pieces. Maybe I'm, when I should be somewhere, I'm not, or when I should, make sure that a task is done, I don't. So we have all heard these, actions speak louder than words. Actually, actions speak just as loud as words, just as energetic as a thought. And we could take that backwards as well. Like, I want to lose weight, so I envision myself losing weight, and I find a plan that I want to do, right? Like Mr. Merritt, your school is like completely involved in living healthy lifestyles. Have you ever had someone come in and say, "Man, I just thought I want to lose weight. I want to gain muscle mass. I want to get in shape." And you're like, "All right, we're going to work on kettlebells today." And their first thing is, "Oh, I can't do those
Not
kettlebells.
doing that.
I can't do those kettlebells," right? This is everyday things that we run into, right? Or they start working out and they see how hard it is, and their thoughts go to, "I can't do this." So then what do they say? "Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Merritt, I can't make it to class today. I've got a badminton game that I have to go to," right? Or some
Happens all the time.
excuse. This is Sanmitsu playing itself out in your daily life, and we go. That's why it's a secret, because we don't even know why we do it until someone like a Jim McFarland or you, Hardy, or myself, that we step on the scene and we're like, "What? Hold on a second. Why are you thinking that you can't lift this kettlebell? What is it about this that you're thinking?" "Well, I want to do it." Okay, let's talk about wanting. That's an incomplete thought. Wanting is a thought that just hasn't arrived to its destination yet. You keep wanting, and you're not allowing yourself to think that, what, this kettlebell, I need to lift this. So what do I got to do to lift it? And then once that is done, and would you agree, Jim, that once you tap into, we were talking about this alignment, right? Making three the one. Usually you'll have one, possibly two that are out of whack, right? And so you're doing let's say you're doing the right things, right? So you're taking that action and you're doing the right things, but you're not saying the right things to yourself, right? So maybe you're doing all this action and you're expecting in your mind, you're expecting this result, and it's not there. It's not coming as fast as you want. So in your mind, you're like, "I must not be doing this right." And then that thought generates inner and outer dialogue, the words that are usually self-defeating, which creates a circumstance which you find yourself physically either not following through with something or doing it in such a way that you end up hurting yourself, maybe not physically, but you hurt the ability to continue on. Jim, would you say that, like with those examples that I was giving, that this would be how we could experience, even if we're not in martial arts or our particular lineage of thought, that this is how Sanmitsu can also play out in people's daily lives?
Oh,
And
very
what
much.
happens to them in
Yeah,
a regular
without a doubt. You
phenomenon?
nailed it. You nailed it, Scotty. So we can, yeah, we can, well, in the example that you were using, the mistake there is obviously I'm expecting results like now. Um, be going like going to a pregnant woman and saying, or a pregnant, woman saying to herself, "It's been 5 months. Where's my baby?" Yeah, yeah, it's not a problem. You need to keep going. It's going to be there, and give it 4 more months. Same thing, when Mr. Merritt, when he's working with somebody with kettlebells, they get all of that initial resistance at first. Man, wouldn't it be cool if you could just take them and leapfrog them over to what the result is? Get them there first so that they experience that, Now take them back in. Oh, I get it. This is why I got to feel all this pain right now. This is why my shoulders are hurting, because I
You
get
guys all need a
tired.
new trainer.
What's that now?
You guys all need a new trainer. It shouldn't hurt that
It'd be cool if you could do that though, right? Well,
for sure.
that's one of the cool things that Sanmitsu does. I mean, once you get, like a little trick that we could use, why not visualize that result ahead of time? Let's visualize that result. Let's mental rehearse, more than visualize. Let's experience the smell of it, the feel of those bigger muscles, stronger. Let's experience the bigger wind capacity and bigger strength. Let's get my mind and pretend that, right? And roll with that and just have fun with that. Okay, now my mind accepts that a little bit more as a possibility. Now, when I get in there and I'm feeling this pain and you tell me, yeah, you're going to get there. This is just part of the process. It's just, yeah, you'll be a little sore tomorrow. Now I'm willing to feel it because I've experienced the payoff ahead of time. So this may be a tricky one little trick. There's lots of these. There's infinite ones with these, but that may be a trick where we can get out of our own way. Get out of our own way. All of these voices of resistance and all of these mistaken beliefs that we have and limiting kind of, I couldn't do that, and I couldn't be as strong as Mr. Merritt, and I couldn't be, as buff as Rachel, and no, I can't. No, you can. You absolutely. Tell me, sir, can people get as strong as you are? If I wanted to get as strong as you are right now, could you take me on that path?
Yeah, make you stronger.
Oh,
yep.
And
absolutely.
faster, right? Faster than you get, right?
Meaner, better looking, everything.
Of course, and I'd want that too.
You still got the hair.
Yes, you could do that, right? Rachel could do that. So that would be what they would need to do. Maybe look, maybe in a gentle way, look at themselves. Are these three aligning? Do I have them in alignment, or is one a little tweaked off? Is one like, you can imagine one a little bent this way, where I'm saying I want to be, maybe for my next belt, I want to be. I want to get to that red belt, and I want to get to that yellow belt, but man, it's hard. I got to work. I got to do things. The old way of looking at that, older way, Tendai, old mind science way of looking at that would be, any result that you're producing right now, that's the one you want to be producing. Wow. So you mean wherever I'm at right now, that's really reflective of what I really want. Yeah. Okay. So I got to really want this then. And then I've got to make my actions incongruent and get my body in the place where it wants it. This is challenging. This is not easy to do. There's all kinds of resistances that come up. And we could call those subconscious. You could call it body resistance. You could call it whatever label you put on it. There's resistances there. And that's part of this mind science training too, is how to move past those and let go of those resistances.
Yeah, and those things, go ahead, Hardy. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I was, first looking at this and exploring, when I was first exposed to Sanmitsu, I would often imagine, this was how I set myself up to battle these external obstacles. But as I've done more and more of this training, and what I think I'm hearing from you is these obstacles are almost all wholly internal. It's my self-imposed limitation that I have to overcome to see myself, to be able to see myself accomplishing the goal, be it physical or whatever. Is that true?
Oh man. Yeah, and the thing is that our natural inclination is to put it outside of ourselves. In psychology, we call this an external locus of control. So the control is somehow out here. Other things, people, conditions are kind of tossing me around like I'm on the waves. Moving that locus of control internally. How can I set it up so that I'm where I need to be to generate the goal that I need? How can I let go of those resistances that are inside? Yes, and even so, external, internal, more is, as we do these trainings, we know that those distinctions start to evaporate. And is it external? I I mean, it's external, but maybe it's a reflection of things inside, or I'm resisting somehow inside. There's this outer stuff that keeps appearing. But early on in the training, we'll say, no, 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 it's all outside. But here's these cool protection things you can do, and these cool things that'll protect you from all that stuff, and that'll empower you to be able to move forward. But really, ultimately, you're working with the internal stuff.
Yeah. We all own our own stuff, And that's what I think a good I was going to say teacher, but I think a good guide, is while we call ourselves in this martial art, we call ourselves teacher, I kind of like to use more of I share this stuff. I don't say I'm a sharer, but the people that are receiving information or receiving ideas from me, you might call them students, but I love how, Anshu just calls everybody a training partner. We're all just training partners, right? But if you're getting down to the business side of it all, when it comes to the Sanmitsu aspect and owning our own stuff, as it were, sometimes it's so hard to own what is happening in your life. The easiest thing for you to do is to think that it's coming from an outside source, like things are happening to me, right? But that's what a good guide is for, is to, when you're battling those moments of not being, let's just say, self-confident, that guide is there to say, you already have all the confidence that you need inside of you. I'm just here to kind of show you, not to bring it to you. I'm not going to bring confidence to you. I'm going to show you how much you really have, So I'm going to kind of be like a rah-rah guy for you. And when you're in that mode where you're not thinking right, I don't want to say right as in proper, but when your thoughts are skewed, we're the ones to come in and say, well, let's look at that a different way. And we do that so much that our inspiration for those that we are sharing the information with is it comes to where you don't really need me to show you this anymore. You're kind of able to see it on your own, right?
Yeah.
You say so many horrible things to yourself, or so many things that don't propel you forward, that we kind of come in there and we say the things that you need to hear in order to get yourself in there. But it's not us doing it for you. It's us showing you that, see, you have this dialogue in you already. You're just not saying it right now. So we'll fill in the words for you until you get to a point where you're saying them yourselves. Right?
Yeah.
Or the physical aspect. We're doing things, and you're doing something that maybe isn't creating an effective result. So we'll come in and we'll position the body for you, and we'll say, okay, this is where you want to be, because you can do everything you want to do in this martial art and in life. You just haven't realized it yet. So let us put you in these positions to where eventually you don't need us to put you there anymore. You got it all on your own. And then the student says, or the partner says, wow, you really did this for me. Didn't do anything for you, just showed you how to do it yourself. I think that's one of the, we are just talking about, Hardy and I, before we brought you on, we're talking about the bow seminar that he just did with his student body, and all of the great things that this bow seminar and sword seminar produced, which helping this market out, to get some income going their way. But one of the principles that Master Russo taught me, that Hardy was able to catch part of this as well, was this be, do, have, rather than a have, do, and be, right? Like, if I only had this car, then I could do all of these things and I would become this person that I want to be, right? Well, what we really want to do is reverse that, right? So Hardy, I think this is a good way to kind of cap off this conversation. Hardy, what was that lesson that you learned from Master Russo? Because this is really one of the bedrock things that I learned from him as well. Would you kind of go through that and explain it real quick?
Sure. To be honest, it happened long enough that I can't remember the context within which it happening, but I remember the lesson very clearly. But it was just that there's sort of a commercialism, sort of like, I want this thing will get me to allow me to live this lifestyle that I want to live. You see on the back of people's trucks, lake life or salt life or something like that. It's like an identity based around their hobbies. We can be whoever we want to be. And then if if we are who we want to be, then we're unlimited in the things that we can do. And if we're unlimited in the things we can do, then the stuff that we need to accomplish those things are going to come to us. I've certainly experienced that myself with this sort of what I'm hearing you guys say. Just get out of your own way. Don't live the lake lifestyle. Like live the uncontainable lifestyle. Just be bigger than any label. And then if you want to go to the lake on the weekend and go fishing, that's awesome. You know, it's easy. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to make light of the thing, but again, that have, do, be versus a be, do, have thing knocked me back on my heels when I heard it and realized the limitations that I was placing on myself by what I thought I had and what I thought I needed to do certain things. So
Yeah.
I think it comes back down to stripping away the unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to like you said, like you've got all the confidence you need, but you're suppressing it yourself. You know, you can do whatever it is. You've got all the same tools, all the same hours in the day as everybody else. You know, why suppress yourself?
Yeah.